My name is Regina, and until a few days ago, I believed my family loved me. It all started with a simple notification. My aunt had sent me a video. I was in the middle of making dinner when my phone rang. I dried my hands on a towel, picked up the phone, and absent-mindedly tapped the message. At first, I thought it was something random, maybe a family video, some old footage she found funny. But then I heard my mother's voice. Regina should be grateful. She would be nothing without us. My stomach sank. The video was shaky, as if someone had left their phone somewhere without realizing it was recording. But the voices were clear. A pathetic failure. That's what Regina is, my father added with a laugh. But at least she's good for something, paying our bills. A laugh followed. I gripped my phone tighter. If Regina stops sending money, my aunt, the same one who had just sent it, said with a cynical smile in her voice, we'll just blame her. She's too nice to say no. My entire body went numb. Regina, my name. They weren't talking about some hypothetical person. They weren't joking. They were talking about me. I'd been helping them for years, paying their rent, covering their debts, sacrificing my own savings just to make sure they never had to go through the hardships I'd gone through. And was that really what they thought of me? I was still frozen, my thumb hovering over the screen, when suddenly the video disappeared. This message has been cancelled. I stared at the notification. My aunt had realized her mistake. She must have panicked and deleted the video, hoping I hadn't seen it. I should have confronted her. I should have exposed them. I should have made it clear that I knew everything. But instead, I put my phone away and pretended I'd never seen anything. And that's when I decided I wouldn't react. Not yet. I had a plan. I sat there for what felt like hours, staring at my phone. The words echoed in my head. Regina should be grateful. A pathetic failure. She's too nice to say no. I wanted to believe it was some kind of misunderstanding, that maybe they were joking, that maybe there was some context I wasn't getting. But deep down, I knew the truth. They meant it. And worst of all, they weren't wrong about one thing. I was too nice to say no. How many times had they made me feel guilty so I'd help them? How many times had I put my own life on hold just to make sure they had everything they needed? My father's temporary financial hardship had turned into years of rent paid by me. My brother's college education, which he never even finished. My mother's endless emergencies, always conveniently timed around when I'd just gotten paid. And I'd done it all without hesitation, because that's what a family was supposed to do, right? I had spent years convincing myself that I was doing the right thing, that they appreciated me, that they loved me. But that video, that one video, had shattered every illusion I had left. Now they thought they had gotten away with it. My aunt had deleted the message, probably sighing with relief, thinking I hadn't seen it. Maybe she had even reassured everyone. Don't worry, Regina didn't see it. They thought I was still in the dark, and that was my advantage. I could have texted her right then and there, confronted her, told her I saw everything. But what good would that do? They would just deny it, make excuses, twist the situation to make me feel guilty somehow. Oh, if they thought I was still their naive little bank account, I would let them believe that for now. Because in a few days, the next paycheck would be due. And this time, things would be different. The next morning, I woke up to my usual routine, but everything felt different. The sun was still streaming through my curtains, my coffee was still brewing as usual, but there was this awareness in the back of my mind, like I was seeing my life from the outside for the first time. My phone rang. A text from my mom. Good morning, honey. Just checking in on you. Hope everything's okay. I stared at the message. It was all too normal. She never texted me just to check up on me. There was always a reason, always a hidden request somewhere. And sure enough, a few minutes later, Mom, oh, the bill is due soon, can you send it by Friday? There it was. The same cycle, the same pattern. But this time, I wasn't going to play along. I typed a reply, my fingers hovering over the keyboard. My usual response would be something like, sure, or no problem. I might even apologize for taking so long, just to make sure they never felt inconvenienced. But not this time. I deleted everything and simply replied, I can't this month. I stared at the message for a few seconds before hitting send. I put my phone away and waited. A minute. 2 minutes. The phone vibrated. Mom, what do you mean you can't? I could feel the frustration through the screen. I had never said no before. I didn't respond right away. Instead, I sipped my coffee, letting her stew in her confusion. A few more messages came in. Mom, Regina, this is serious, we're counting on you. You know we have no other option right now, right? Another vibration. This time it was my aunt. Hi, honey. Your mom is freaking out. Is everything okay? I almost laughed. Everything was fine, of course. I had spent years paying for their lives, and the one time I had even mentioned stopping, they had panicked. Not once had they asked if I was okay, if I needed help. It was never about me. It had never been. I took a deep breath and replied, I had some unexpected expenses this month. I can't send anything, sorry. That was it. No explanation, no excuse. And then I waited. What happened next told me everything I needed to know. The silence was deafening. For the first time in years, I had said no, and they didn't know how to handle it. I stared at my phone, watching the 3 dots appear and disappear over and over. My mother was typing, pausing, typing again. I imagined her sitting there, seething, trying to find the perfect way to manipulate me into changing my mind. Then finally, her reply arrived. Regina, what do you mean unexpected expenses? What could be more important than your family? My mother wrote. There it was, the emotional blackmail, the same tactic they always used. I didn't reply, just left the message there. Less than a minute later, another message. You know your brother can't pay the rent. If he gets evicted, it will be your fault. The letter from the brother. Classic. Another message from Mom. Regina, we raised you. We took care of you when you had nothing. Is this how you repay us? I gritted my teeth, my fingers gripping the phone tightly. When I had nothing, they never took care of me. I supported myself through college, worked 3 jobs to escape that house. And the moment I had money, they clung to me like leeches, draining me dry. I had nothing because they took everything. My phone vibrated again. A message from Aunt. Dear Regina, don't do this. We're family. Your mom is just upset. You know how she is. Send the rent and everything will be fine. Everything will be fine? Fine for who? I put the phone down, my heart pounding. I needed a second to breathe, to think. I went to the kitchen, poured a glass of water and took a slow sip, staring at the clock on the wall. I could feel something shifting inside me. For years I had dreaded this moment, feared that if I stopped paying them they would hate me, cut me off, turn their backs on me. But now I knew the truth. They had never loved me. They loved what I could give them. The moment that stopped, they would show me exactly who they were. The phone rang. I turned back to my phone, picking it up with steady hands this time. The message was from my father. Regina, I don't know what's come over you, but this is unacceptable. You're being selfish. This family needs you, and you're acting like a spoiled brat. Grow up and do the right thing. There it was. The final mask slipping. No more fake sweetness, no more pretense of concern, just demands. I stared at the words, my heart pounding in my ears. And then another notification popped up. A voicemail from my aunt. My hands shook as I hesitated, my thumb hovering over the play button. Something told me this was going to change everything. I hesitated for a long moment, just staring at the small play button on the screen. A voicemail from my Aunt D. My heart thudded against my ribs. She wasn't the type to send voicemails. If she had something to say, she usually sugar-coated it with text, passive-aggressive, but with enough fake sweetness to make me feel guilty. But this was different. Slowly, I pressed play. Her voice came through, sharp and impatient. Regina, listen here. I don't know what kind of game you think you're playing, but this isn't funny. Your mother is on the verge of a nervous breakdown, your father is furious, and honestly, I don't blame them. You've always been, well, a little ungrateful, but this is borderline selfish. I felt my stomach tighten, but I forced myself to keep listening. You have a good job, don't you? You make more money than any of us. You don't even need that money. Meanwhile, your family is struggling, and you just wake up one day and decide you don't care anymore. A bitter laugh. You owe them, Regina. After everything they've done for you, after all the sacrifices they've made, they gave you life, and now you just walk away, pretending they don't exist? What kind of daughter does that? She exhaled sharply, and for a second I thought she was done. But then, you know what? Her tone darkened, colder now. If you really want to be that kind of person, fine. But don't expect them to forgive you. Don't expect to come crawling back when you realize how much you need them. Because once you cross that line, there's no going back. The message ended. Silence. I let the words settle, my thumb hovering over the play button. My ears were ringing. My hands were numb. I should have been scared. I should have panicked. I should have been running to fix things, to apologize. But instead, I felt calm. More than that, I felt free. Because she had just confirmed it all. They didn't love me. They didn't respect me. They didn't even see me as a person. I was just a bank account to them, a walking, breathing ATM. And the moment I stopped handing them money, I would be nothing. And if that was the case, then maybe it was time for me to be nothing to them. My phone buzzed again. Another message from my mother. Last chance, Regina. Send the rent. I stared at the message for a long, long time. Then, without hesitation, I blocked it. I blocked my father. I blocked my aunt. And just like that, for the first time in years, I was free. Or so I thought. Because the next day, my brother showed up at my door. The knock on my door sent a shiver down my spine. It was too early. The kind of early when normal people were still asleep, the sun barely beginning to rise over the horizon. For a second, I considered ignoring it. Maybe it was a neighbor, maybe a package, maybe something other than what I knew it was. Then another knock, louder this time, more insistent. I took a deep breath, steeling myself, and went to the door. My fingers hesitated on the doorknob, my heart hammering in my chest. And then I opened it. There he was, my brother. His face was contorted in something between anger and despair. His clothes were wrinkled like he hadn't slept. His eyes. God, his eyes were red, wild. Are you serious, Regina? His voice was sharp as a blade pressed against my skin. What the hell is wrong with you? I blinked, keeping my expression neutral. Good morning to you too. He scoffed, running a hand through his already messy hair. Don't do this. Don't act like this is no big deal. You've blocked everyone out. Mom's freaking out. Dad's going crazy. Are you just going to cut us off, pretend we don't exist? I crossed my arms, leaning against the doorframe. I don't know, Carlos. Maybe I'm just tired of being treated like a piggy bank. His jaw clenched. Oh my God, not again. Not again. I let out a bitter laugh. Carlos, I've paid your rent for years. I've covered your bills, your food, even your stupid gym membership. And the one time I say no, the one time I set a boundary, Mom calls me a selfish brat, Dad says I'm unacceptable, and you show up on my doorstep like I committed a crime. His lips parted as if to argue, but no words came out. So I continued, and don't even try to pretend you care about me. I saw the video. His face paled. For the first time, real fear flashed in his eyes. What video? I smiled, but it wasn't a gentle smile. You know exactly what video, Carlos. He shifted his weight, looking away, his hands balled into fists. Look, we weren't serious, okay? We were just joking. You're being dramatic. Kidding. My voice was low now, but sharp as glass. You all sit there laughing, calling me a pathetic failure, telling me I should be grateful for the chance to pay your bills. Do you know what that's like, Carlos? Hearing your own family talk about you like that. He exhaled sharply, rubbing his face. Regina, come on. No, I cut him off. You go ahead. You want money? Get a job. You want someone to take care of you? Find someone else. Because I'm done. Silence. He just stood there, staring at me. And for a second, I saw something flash across his face, something raw. But it was gone as quickly as it had come. You're not serious, he muttered. I held my gaze steady. I am. Another silence. Then his expression hardened, his mouth twisting into something ugly. Fine, he spat. You want to be selfish? Go ahead. But don't come crawling back when you realize there's no one else. And with that, he turned and walked away. I stood there, watching him go, my chest tight but my spine straight. Because he was wrong. I had someone. I had myself. But just as I closed the door, Letting out a shaky breath, my phone rang. I glanced at the vibrating phone again. The familiar name flashed across the screen. It was my mother. But I wasn't going to answer it. Not this time. I'd been at her mercy for so long, her demands, her emotional blackmail, the way she used my own sense of responsibility against me, manipulating me into giving up everything I had just to keep her from falling apart. Not anymore. I turned the phone face down and walked away. The truth was, I was done. Tired of being the constant source of money, the safety net that kept my family afloat when they couldn't be bothered to make their own way in the world. Tired of the lies and the manipulation. They never asked how I was, never thought about the toll it took on me to always be the one covering up for them. I'd carried their weight for years, my mother, my father, my brother, all acting like I owed them something. Like my life was just one long, endless payment for everything they'd sacrificed for me. But no one had ever asked what I needed. No one had ever cared about me. And now I was taking over. But my decision didn't go unnoticed. The next morning, as I sat in my living room, the silence felt suffocating. The weight of my choice was starting to settle in, but there was no regret, no hesitation. I had made the right decision. Then my doorbell rang. I wasn't surprised. It was Carlos. I could tell by the way he knocked. Demanding, impatient. The last person I expected to show up, but somehow not surprising. I opened the door slowly, keeping my face neutral. "Regina," he began, his usual arrogant tone gone, replaced by something almost pleading. "You need to listen to me." I didn't invite him in. I stood in the doorway, arms crossed. "I don't need to hear anything you have to say, Carlos." He blinked, taking a step back. "No, you don't understand." His voice softened, almost desperate. "Mom's freaking out, Dad's calling me, asking what's going on. They don't know how to fix this. You cut us all off. You can't just leave us hanging like this." I scoffed, leaning against the doorframe. "Oh, I'm sorry. Did you think I was going to keep supporting you, paying your rent, your bills, and pretending everything was fine? No, Carlos. I'm done. I don't care how much you, Mom or Dad, beg. I'm done being the family ATM." His eyes flashed with anger. "You're acting like we've never done anything for you. Like we're just freeloaders, right?" I didn't hesitate. "Oh, trust me, I know exactly what I was to you. I was a money machine, a free ride. And I'm tired of it." Carlos's face contorted. "You can't just leave us hanging like this. You owe us, Regina." The words stung, but they didn't break me, they only made me more resolute. "I owe you? I gave you everything. I paid your rent, your groceries, your bills, while you just sat there watching me do it. And you want to talk about debt?" His fists clenched at his sides. "You're going to regret this. You're going to regret cutting us off." I couldn't help but laugh. "No, Carlos. You're going to regret it. Because I'm not the one who needs you anymore." Without waiting for an answer, I slammed the door in his face. It felt good, but I knew the drama was far from over. Later that night, my cell phone rang again. I almost didn't want to check it, but curiosity got the better of me. It was from my father. "Regina, we raised you. Don't think you can just walk away from everything we've done for you. You're making a huge mistake. Come back, we'll talk, we'll work this out." I could almost hear the desperation in his words. I sat there for a moment, my phone still in my hand. I could have ignored it, I could have blocked it too, but instead, I had a better idea. I wasn't just going to block them, I was going to make them pay for every lie, for every moment they took me for granted. And I was going to start now. I stood up, walked over to my desk, and opened my laptop. It was time to send them a message they would never forget. And so I began typing. I sat at my desk, staring at my laptop screen, my fingers hovering over the keys. I wasn't going to just stand back and let them walk back into my life like nothing had happened. No, I was done being the punching bag. This time, I was taking control. I thought about everything I had done for them, all the payments I had made, the bailouts, the times I had swallowed my pride and helped them, even when I knew I was the one being drained. Enough. Now it was their turn to feel the pain of their actions. I opened my email and began typing. First, I gathered all of their financial records, every payment I had ever made on their accounts, every wire transfer, every check I had sent over the years to cover their mistakes. It was time to remind them of what they had taken from me. I included a note at the top of the email. Here is a detailed summary of everything I have done for you over the years. I am done being your lifeline. I will no longer be your ATM, and I will no longer allow you to make me feel guilty for choosing me. Consider this my final bill. You owe me nothing more, but you owe it to yourselves to realize how much I have sacrificed, all because I believed that families should help each other, not drain each other. Then I attached the receipts, the bills, the payment receipts I had. But that was not the end, not by a long shot. I logged into the family group chat, where they used to make me tense with their endless complaints and demands. I scrolled through the messages, reading the ones where they claimed they needed me, where they made me feel guilty so I would help them. Then I did something I hadn't done in years. I replied, "You all talk so much about what you've done for me, but you've forgotten how much I've given up for you. And here's the proof. You never needed me. You just used me. Enough. This is my last message. Don't ever contact me again." I sent it. The silence that followed was almost sweet. I leaned back in my chair, letting the weight of the decision wash over me. For the first time, there were no more phone calls, no more emotional blackmail, no more pretending that they had any power over me. They could keep their manipulations, their lies, their empty promises. I was free. But just as I thought it was over, I got one last text from Carlos. "You're making a mistake, Regina. You'll regret it. Families stick together." I smiled to myself. I knew he was just trying to get to me, but this time it didn't work. I didn't need them. I had my life, my freedom, and that was enough. It wasn't the dramatic showdown I had imagined. It wasn't a big scene. But in its own way, it was even better. I had taken control without anyone noticing, and best of all, they no longer had any power over me. I turned off my phone that night. A sense of peace settled over me. I didn't have to play their game. I didn't have to keep sacrificing myself for people who didn't appreciate me. It wasn't revenge in the way I had expected. It was quieter, more deliberate, and much more satisfying. Now I could finally breathe. And best of all, I could finally live for myself. And that, in the end, was the sweetest victory. Sometimes the best revenge is not to make a scene, but to take back your life and show people that you are no longer a doormat. Would you have done the same as Regina? Or would you have given a second chance? Tell us in the comments. If you liked this story, please like and share this video and subscribe to the channel for more family stories.